how beautiful is that? Like, look at it. This is another radish. I'm eating radish, yeah, and this is another, like, a new variety that I got today, and I'm planning to eat tomorrow. It's like a bowl of pinkness. Look at it. Perfect. Oh, let it sit here. Yeah. Special interests. Continuing with that. But first, yeah, the factual mistakes. So, in order of importance. No, so like in actual order of importance. So, leprosy doesn't make your body parts come off, but if it affects your limbs, so they get deformed, and the face also gets deformed. The thing is, oh, that's disgusting. I cannot look at it. Excuse me. The gut kind of infection is called the typhoid fever, and there were two other diseases that I really enjoyed reading about. One is rabies, and another is fucking tetanus. And it's really funny, so I must have been like 5-6 years old, and I'm 37 now. I'm still obsessed with them. I still think about them on the regular basis. About tetanus and rabies. I noticed today, I went for a walk today. No, that story should start differently. So, I've been thinking about the things I used to do as a child, which are kind of like a bit autistic, and, or just childish, but since I continued, I figured they were autistic. So when you're outside, sometimes there are like kind of like tiles kind of thing, not just concrete. So with lines, and there are some rules you have to follow. So like maybe not stepping on the lines, so like stepping in each kind of shape, but not on the lines, or stepping on the lines, but then like should be equally, like left foot, right foot. Otherwise it feels different, you know, like your legs, your feet feel different, kind of like if one foot stepped on more lines than the other, it feels heavier. So I used to do that for a long time, I thought. So I started in childhood, and then my previous thought was that, yeah, I stopped maybe around like when I was 20. I didn't stop, which is what I discovered today. I'm still doing it. I'm still like, not as much, but I'm still doing it. So this is the same point with tetanus and leprosy and all those other delightful things. They're still with me in my heart. The important part here is that, so I did some reading, of course, and the leprosy and rabies too, I think tetanus could also be there. They're like in this group of neglected tropical diseases, or like neglected or forgotten diseases, which is because like people don't get infected with them in the developed world, so like in Europe and North America, but people totally get infected with them in parts of Africa, in parts of Asia, and I think South America too. And it's, yeah, but like no one, not no one, but the big organizations who are all about human health, they don't care anymore. I think there were like 3 big ones for like AIDS, tuberculosis, and what was the third one? Well, something else. So this is what the research is mostly aimed at not only research like funding, but those other very unpleasant, mostly like parasitic, bacterial kind of diseases, they're just neglected, and it's fucking horrible. So that's what I wanted to say, like, because it's not that in the modern world people don't get leprosy as often, it's just in the area where I happen to live, it doesn't happen anymore that often, but in some other less fortunate areas, it totally fucking happens. And number 2, from the serious subject to the witches. So the show is called Charmed, not Charming. That's it. There might have been some other factual mistakes. It's been a while since I made that video, so I don't remember anymore. Oh well. If there were any more, do some Googling. Don't take my word for it. Anyway. Ooh, the football. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the football. The football was a fucking fuck up. That's about... Ooh, it's like a whirligig. Ooh, wow! Come on! This is the coolest vegetable ever! Oh, this is a massive one. Wow, okay. I love them even more now. They're a whirligig. Yay! Let's go! Let's go! Wow. Oh, powerful. The football. So that was in like 2000, 2004, the World Cup. And that was... Now I forgot. That was 2002. So I was 14 at the time, the first one that I watched, and then 2006 was the second one that I also watched, I think. How? I might have watched. And the third one that I didn't watch was 2008 maybe, or was it was a European tournament. Anyway, I watched 2 and I didn't watch 1 because I was working. But yeah, the World Cup was 2002, 2006. And also I watched the European Cup thing that I don't remember anymore, but I think it was the in between, so 2006, and that one was won by Greece. So some kind of European tournament was won by Greece, and it was like very unexpected. There was like a breakthrough for the Greek team. I fucking care. That's insane to me. Like it's a very rusty special interest, but somehow I still care. Apparently, the lines, you know, no stepping on the lines. Anyway, I wanted to kind of talk about simpler. Okay, simpler. My secret page, still here. So I wanted to talk about like simpler special interests first, and then move on to something that is not as easy to spot as a special interest, at least in my opinion. So let's fire away. Mushrooms. I pick mushrooms. I mentioned that in my glorious Armenian alphabet video. I got into it pretty recently, like about 3 or 4 years ago, because in a place where I used to live, there was like a mountain range pretty close to the city, like maybe 15 minutes away by public transport. So I would go there and I would just like hike there, and I was doing that for years. And I had never seen a mushroom before the time that I saw mushrooms, like a ton of them. First I found one, completely like several, oh wow, interesting, there are mushrooms here after all. And then I kept walking, just for fun, and then there was like a whole fucking field of mushrooms, like wow, okay, what are those? I didn't know much about them, but I learned since then. And where I live now in Armenia, I go mushroom hunting. That's what I call it, mushroom picking. Yeah, every spring and every summer and every autumn, and I pick more than I can eat. I like mushrooms, but I'm too good at finding them, and they're just nice. Mushrooms are nice. They're a very interesting organism, so I stare at every mushroom I see and like touch it and feel it and see what it is like. Number 2, Middle Ages. Mushrooms and Middle Ages. This is what I'm about. Actually, don't remember what sparked my interest in the Middle Ages, but it happened long ago, and maybe the disease book, the medicine encyclopedia. I still have a lot of feels about the Middle Ages. Mostly like art and music. I mean, I'm kind of interested in the whole period, so if there is like, if I stumble upon, that's the word I'm looking for. Oh no! There was a fall. I'm sorry, but you're doing so nicely. So if I stumble upon some maybe like article or research that is like, I can see that I can fit it in my schedule, so I will read it about the Middle Ages and the ancient Rome. I will not read about, maybe I will, less likely, it is less likely that I will read about something else that is not those periods. But mostly it's about the art and the music. And I think the aspect that interests me the most is like how all of it was affected by Christianity, by religion, which is like a lot was affected by religion, a lot. I like medieval art. It's very weird, and I know there is a lot of like symbolism, religious symbolism there. I'm not, like, I haven't dug yet into that, but come on man, what are you? But I know it's there. Shit, I'm mostly, I'm gonna bruise it. I'm gonna bruise the radish now. Sit down. Where was I? So I'm just looking at the art as I'm looking at the modern art, or like 20th century art, or you know, the Renaissance art. So just like at pretty pictures, and they are pretty in their own strange way, like without any knowledge or very little knowledge that I actually have of like what were they trying to depict there. You can see some patterns there of art, and it's very interesting, and I like the colors. I like the medieval colors. There is this, what is it called? Like cobalt, kind of very deep, dark, and vibrant. Like it's not, what is it? How do I say that in English? M-A-T-T-E. Matte. So like kind of opaque. It's not like that. It's like beaming with something from inside. At least in my eyes, it's like it's like lasers in my eyes, and I really love it. I really love that color. Sometimes I just remember the color and I start looking at the medieval pictures and I want to like paint everything with cobalt, or like wear something that color. Just I want that color everywhere. Music is yeah, I like medieval music. This one I know a bit more about, so I've listened to a lot of like reconstructed music from that period. Oh god, I will need to talk about music separately. But yeah, like for some reason this fact that like all music was religious music for like hundreds of fucking years. There was some like peasant music, like common people music, but that was also like very religious still, that for some reason this fact is like so interesting to me, that like and how it functioned, that like some kind of king, a noble person, would commission a composer to write like an oratory or whatever, a composition, a musical composition to honor God. It was like a very interesting kind of worldview, the system of values that they had. I need to do more reading. Anyway, Middle Ages. Which one should I jump? This is what I'm talking about. Mushrooms, Middle Ages, and now stand-up comedy. How does this happen in my brain? Yeah, stand-up comedy. I will have to do a separate video on humor too, because I've noticed a lot of interesting things. But yeah, at some point I got into stand-up comedy, mostly British. I've been watching one guy on YouTube recently, like in the last year or so, and I haven't rewatched the people that I used to watch a lot before, but it's still there. Like, I still remember the sets and what I enjoyed about them. So I don't really laugh. I'm laughing now, but I don't really laugh when I'm watching stand-up. This is what I noticed. It's like, it's a form of literature, of spoken literature, and of performing. So it's like acting. I think it's like a very complex thing, because you have to do a lot of shit. One person has to have a lot of skills, very different skills. It's really, really interesting for me. I like a lot of British stand-up comedians. I think I mostly perceive it as like a person talking, as not really a person, because I understand it as like literature, like a character. It's like reading a book, but the book is reading you. The book is reading itself to you. It's kind of this, I feel like, it's not about laughs, it's about this kind of connection with a point of view, as when you read a book, especially if it's like written from first person point of view. Fuck, I have a lot to say. I think my favorite ones, the guys, I like a lot of them, but those two guys are like the pinnacle of stand-up comedy for me, for like, of what stand-up comedy is for me, and I'm choosing like what I should do. Should I do the right way, or should I flip it and like do it the opposite way? So it's Richard Herring and whatever was that other guy. I don't remember his name. Where, like, what did he ever do? Yeah, Richard Herring and Stuart Lee. I pretty much loved everything they did, together and separately, and fucking Richard Herring is like he's been doing it. I'm not sure he's still doing it, but he was doing at the time, at the last time that I checked, he was doing this podcast with I think other stand-up comedians, with people. Some of them famous, some of them relatively famous. I think with comedians, yeah. That is also nice. He's more goofy, so that one is a bit more about love's kind of cutesy things. Sturdley is like, it is fucking literature. It's like reading like a book, exactly the type of book that I like, just like kind of postmodern style, but it's in speaking. Anyway, stand-up comedy. What else do I have? I think like photography earns an honorable mention, but it's a bit weird nowadays, because like we've got these rectangles, fucking rectangles. Have a special interest on the like screen saver kind of thing, which is a bit indecent. Oh. Okay, I have ideas now. Oh my. Cartoons for children. I don't need these ideas. So, everyone takes photos. In the modern world, where people have access to like modern luxuries, everyone takes pictures. And I'm not like, I don't have haven't spent a lot of money on like cameras or lenses. I haven't taken any courses. I'm not like hiring models. Like I'm not using filters or anything. So, which is like what proper photographers do. I just take pictures with the camera, with this one that is running right now. But I think it should be considered a special interest, because there are definitely ideas that I put into my photos. They're usually like travel pictures, like hiking pictures, walking around the city pictures. So this kind of documenting of the everyday life that, again, most people do. But I'm looking at something specific there. Usually it's I think lines. I like the world is lines. Anyway, photography got its honorable mention. I talked about painting, right? Yeah, I showed my watercolor. Hiking. Hiking / traveling. I got into traveling when I was around like, how old was I? 23? And for the first few years I was trying to find myself in that area, and gradually I understood that I just want to walk up hills. I'm drawn to walking up the hill. So that's what this is what I've been doing since I was like about 25, 26, so more than 10 years now. I don't usually go to like any, you know, like famous hiking destinations, famous trails that every hiker should do, because I'm poor and I need visas for pretty much everywhere, and I'm not good at hiking. I can walk like an old Japanese lady, let's say. That's what I usually compare myself with. So I'm not like into sport or competition or endurance or any other that stuff. I'm not into that aspect of it. which have caused me a lot of problems, because a lot of people who hike there are into that, and I just cannot fathom that I don't want to like do it faster. I want to do it slower. I want to spend the whole day until it's fucking dark, because then I cannot see shit. They cannot fathom that. And I've had like companions on hikes, and I didn't enjoy those hikes. Anyway, I hike. I go to a lot of mountains and hills. I travel to different countries for that. After like looking at the map, because I look at maps. And where I live now, Armenia is a very mountainous country, so I have plenty of opportunity to just hike while I'm at home, which I do, like in spring, summer, autumn. I like do a hike every week, unless there is like an emergency or something, but yeah, just go everywhere. And it's like, oh, another point about hiking. It's a bit like, I want to say meditation, but in meditation you're like supposed to not think about anything. But the hiking for me is autistic meditation, which is like processing all the shit that's been on your mind. So yeah, it's kind of, I find it funny. So usually my hikes are like going up, going down. Could be in a loop, but whatever. Usually the first part is going up, and then the last part, the second part, is going down, because I don't like doing the opposite. That's like, what's the point in that? Sometimes I do though. Like geography is the point of that, the physical geography of the place. But so me going up, the first part of the hike is just like suffering physically, because I suffer, and suffering mentally. So I'm just fucking hating on everyone and on everything, and figuring out what that was about, what that kind of shit was, what people. And then when I get to the top, I usually have some food, and on the way down my head is mostly empty, and like, yeah, let's go. So it clears my mind in an autistic way. Not in a meditating way, but it is pretty meditative to me. I think I should stop the video and then I will continue in the next one. But let's give it a spin. Let's give it a spin. Wow, the motion is so nice. So heavy. Oh. Gorgeous. There is some physics involved in the motion of this thing. I would love to read an article, a research article about the motions of the very pink radish. Anyway, the very pink radish says bye-bye for now.